General Eagler has been defeated. Lyn and her band draw ever nearer to Castle Caelin. Within the castle's walls, Lyn's bitter enemy, Lundgren, awaits. A man who would kill his own kin for a throne. He's the source of all her troubles. He must be stopped. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 5 of Let's Play Fire Emblem, in which we are going to finish Lyn's story. That's right, this is the very last episode in Lyn's chapter of the game. And admittedly, it's one of my least favorite levels in arguably the entire game. For a single reason, and a reason that is not repeated, so far as I know, in any other level whatsoever. First off, we're going to be selecting our units. Lucius, we're going to leave behind. Matthew, Dorcas. I think I may have already set this up as I wanted yet. As you can see, I could bring everyone with me, but I'm not going to. Why, do you ask? Is my team already all prepped up for battle and in the correct positions? Because I lost this level before. I did a really dumb thing and sent Lyn up to fight the final boss at melee range while he didn't have his weaker weapon equipped. And that ends in death pretty much instantly. So, my strategy for this level is going to consist mainly of sending Florina south to deal with many of the units that arrive originally, but before that I need to give her another vulnerary since she doesn't actually have one and I neglected to do one in the preparation screen. Hers only has one use on it. So, we have to take care that we don't put her in within range of an archer, but that's easy enough so long as we stick her right there. Now, this bandit is going to be trying to get over to this village, but we definitely don't want that to happen as that village has an excellent item in it. To which end, we're going to want to get our units over to it extremely quickly or kill the bandit first, as killing the bandit isn't very likely given the fact that he's going to be able to just stomp on Florina if we try to have her fight him, or just completely murder just about anyone else that goes that way unless they're a sword user. Oh no, I don't want him to discard his fire magic. That would be extremely unfortunate. Alright, what was I saying? Oh, bottom line is we're going to get to the area there down by the bandit, where the bandit wants to go, the little town, before he's going to be able to get there, because it has an excellent usable item in there. The same way that the Seraph Robe raises HP, it's the upgrade item for HP, the item that we're going to get in that village is the upgrade for magic or physical attack. So you want to get that, especially because after Lyn's story, you're no longer able to use any items you've acquired during Lyn's story. The next time you meet everyone, they're all going to have different gear. To which end, you need to make absolutely sure that you've used all of the gear that you want to use, which means pretty much only the Seraph Robe and the Power Ring, I think it's called? Energy Ring, that's it. But you want to make sure that they're used. Also, if you want to spend any of your gold, feel free to do so. That doesn't carry over either. The only thing that's going to stay after this level are the stats and levels of your units. So make the most of it. Now, Urk is actually going to tank up a bunch of the enemy team here, immediately clearing the area to the right, which is good because we want our units to move through there as quickly as possible because, as Lyn is saying now, it's going to rain, and this is what makes it one of my least favorite levels in the game. Fire Emblem doesn't often have environmental effects such as rain, snow, sleet, hail, gloom of night. But when it does, it's usually alright. There's not much to it, or there's some sort of rhyme or reason. In this level, there is rain that reduces your movement to anywhere between 1 and 3 spaces. And that's all it does. That's the only purpose of rain, is to reduce your movement. Why? I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it's to give you a better chance versus the bandit that's down there, in making sure that he's not able to get to the villages quickly. Maybe it's just completely pointless and they just wanted to extend the level or give it a sense of atmosphere. I don't know. The point is, it's kind of trash and you don't really want to use it. If you're a game designer, obviously if you're a player you don't really have a choice, it's going to happen regardless. So we're going to send Florina to immediately kill this archer here. Killing this archer also has the benefit of putting her on a forest, and though the forest itself won't give her any benefits, the only tiles adjacent to it are non-forest spaces, so when those two mercenaries come up to fight her, she won't have to fight them while they're in the woods. HP, skill, luck, and resistance. Not a bad level up. She does need some strength, though. But then so does Matthew if I ever want to use him, so it's really going to be a question of which of these two do I use the energy ring on. I'm tempted to say Matthew, just because Florina has at least respectable damage, and Matthew doesn't even have that, but... in any case, it has started raining. So Matthew's going to try to... He can't even kill this unit. That is ridiculous. And as you can see, just about nobody else can get into range, because horses have extremely decreased movement speed. I mean, and if Urk attacked him, he'd just kill him. So I'll have Matt use an Iron Sword, get a couple of hits in, get some EXP, and then I'll have Urk finish him off. Actually, no. I'm going to have Matt just take another hit. Oh my god, 4 strength. That is so terrible. He needs more. Now, as you do have Nils here, he can kind of help you out by allowing your units to move again, but even Nils can't move very far, and then when your units move again, they can only move 2 spaces maximum. It's just a really frustrating gameplay mechanic that serves no purpose other than being frustrating and slow. I'll send Urk down here to deal with this dark magic user, though. Because that, I think, would be a good idea. And again, this unit here, he can attack this space, and he can attack this space, but if I put Florina right here, he won't be able to move onto... I'm going to use a vulnerary real quick, top her off. He's not going to be able to actually stand on a force during their fight, which, even though Florina doesn't get the benefit, makes sure that he doesn't. But they are ridiculously fast, which is unfortunate. He misses Matthew on the second shot, which is good. It means Matthew's definitely going to kill him this turn. And the rain is going to stop next turn. After that, I think it alternates 1 turn on, 1 turn off, or something to that effect. Oh, now you crit. Naturally. I suppose he's proven his worth, but whatever. Come on, strength! That's more like it. HP, strength, and speed. That's a good level up. He'll be able to outspeed things more often, and he has enough strength to actually be able to do something. Now, Sarah's still not nearly within range of healing Matthew, and in fact, nobody's going to be pretty much within range of anyone this turn. But I'm going to keep training up Nils by having Wallace stop moving and just letting him play for him. And then we'll try to get our Cavaliers in the area, but they can't move forward too well, so it's not going to work out very well for them. Florina, on the other hand, is going to be doing just fine versus these guys over here. 100% hit chance means that there's absolutely no chance of that guy living through the fight. Well, yeah, that would be what 100% means. Come on, PA, pull it together. Alright, so we've got the bandit continuing to move towards this house over here, but what we're going to want to do is we're going to send Florina down here on these little fortresses. Actually, not on the fortresses, but very close to them. Can this bandit attack her if she's there? He can, so I'm going to stick her here, use a vulnerary again, and again, this may seem odd, but she's fragile, I don't want her to die in this level. Especially considering she's turning out to be a pretty solid unit thus far. Pegasus Knights always suffer from a bit of a low attack rating at the very beginning, but they can more than make up for that with silver weapons later in the game. Plus, their movement is just so ridiculous, it's almost not even fair. Now, that dark magic user can only strike the space that is now to Kent's right, so I just won't stick anyone there. But, regrettably, Wallace and my knights are probably going to have to take this lower path through the shop and the vendor, because trying to get through all the woods and the mountains really would not be to their benefit. Not going to be to any of my team's benefit, come to think of it, but Now, as you may be thinking, it's just like, well, the boss is right there, you've only got 3 units left on the field, what could make this level so difficult? Now, well, first off, the boss is a general, not unlike Wallace, which, as I explained previously, means that he has ludicrous attack damage. Or, no, defense versus attack damage, sorry about that. There we go, and knights will continue, that is to say cavaliers, will continually spawn out of those fortresses to the south. Now that I think about it, Florina should be able to take most of those cavaliers without too many issues. I have to make sure to keep her out of range of that bandit though, especially once I take what's in the house, because he's just going to go on the offensive versus any units in the area, instead of just making a beeline to wreck the place. Urk gets a little bit of experience, not much, but what are you gonna do? Now this Caelin soldier is just within range of Florina. Where's this guy able to hit? Alright, so I'm actually going to send her here, use another charge of her vulnerary. Again, use all the items you can, it doesn't matter at this point. It may seem a bit wasteful to use this many vulneraries, but it's really not. So even the village just by the capital says that nobody believes Lundgren, but nobody's gonna speak out against him. Alright, so this lady is saying use them wisely. That's not what you want to do, you want to use it immediately. Forget about wise. Now we're going to send Kent and Sane south, where hopefully they're going to be able to kill this snag this turn, so they can start moving next turn. It doesn't look like it. That sucks. Oh well. And then Wallace is going to move with them, and Wallace is actually integral to my strategy for this level, for one reason and one reason alone, and the reason is because he's Wallace, and because he is a general with such high defense. You see, the boss, being a general and an upgraded unit, as being a general, is going to have lots of attack damage and lots of defense, which means that I could use Urk against him, and indeed I probably will be using Urk primarily. It's just about the only way to kill him reliably at the beginning of the game. Because, as you can see, he has 14 defense and only 7 resistance. That means that the effects of Urk's attacks are going to be a lot more damaging than anybody else's. Now, the thing about it is, he has a silver lance and a javelin, which means he can attack at range or melee. You want him to use the javelin. Silver is the second highest quality of weapon, right behind the ultimate weapons for the end of the game. This is what you'll be using on your most powerful units at endgame. And he has one now, and he's a level 5 general, so as you can see he has 26 attack. Now if we just take a quick look at, say, Lyn, she has 21 HP, and she has 3 defense, which means that Lundgren would one-shot her, and indeed that's actually how I lost last time. So you've just got to kind of be careful of that. Now this bandit is going to come to try to fight Florina. If I fly her off into the mountains, he's not going to be able to do anything, which I think I'm going to be doing here. This Caelin soldier is going to retreat onto one of the fortresses, and then those cavaliers are just going to keep spawning one at a time. So I don't want her within range of this guy, but there's pretty much no way to make sure that doesn't happen, while also making sure she can fight the cavalier. So without any other option, she's just going to go perch in the mountains for a while. I'm going to stick Urk over here along with Matthew, and Matthew is going to trade for that energy ring and use it. So he's now up to 7 strength, which is quite respectable. It's obviously not Kent or Sane. It is Kent, actually. Sane is so much more powerful, oh my god. To put things in perspective, 12 strength is about what you expect from a fighter, the axe class, and even then, that's pretty damn high. So having 12 strength on a level 7 cavalier is absolutely ridiculous. But I think I've already iterated that in past iterated? Is that even the right word? I'm not even sure. I'm just gonna cut this off there. Anyway, HP, he gets everything that he needs. He gets a full level up, which is always good. Full level up for bards are absolutely wonderful. Right, and now Kent can just kind of ride around the south. Excuse me, ride around the south here with Sane, where they'll just be able to kind of go straight past all the cavaliers and not really worry too much about them. But we are in for a bit of a fight at this bridge, and it's going to rain soon. Which means that since she didn't say it doesn't look like it's going to last long, it's going to last for 2 turns. and rain lasting 2 turns, plus the fact that, well, we're already half a map away from the boss, means that this level is going to take a little while. But what I'm going to do to try to get Will some experience, just because, I mean, this is so underwhelming right now in terms of his strength, but whatever. I'm going to stick Will there, and then I'm going to keep Matthew in the wings. Once Will manages to kill someone, I can just send Matthew in for the next hit. And in the meantime, Florina is going to try to kill this knight down here by drawing him off to the other side of the castle. I don't think she should be able to be within range of the cavalier, so she should be safe there, nor is she actually going to be able to kill the knight this turn. That's going to have to be on her own turn. So she's completely safe there. And she's going to get a level up by the time she kills that knight, too. Alright, Wallace is doing an effective job as a tank there. Florina is going to be... Oh, it is just going to last 1 turn. Excellent, that's always good to hear. Alright, 5 damage twice, 57% chance to do 8 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was actually his full movement range, so even if another one spawns, he's not going to be doing anything. He has 12 attack, 4 defense, he could do another 8 damage, but he's not going to be able to kill her. So we'll just have Florina take out this knight, and then she can fight the cavalier on this next turn. Now, if the general sitting in the base were moving, that would be a bit more of a problem. Especially considering the fact that he would actually be able to use his silver lance with some regularity. But because he isn't moving, we're pretty much fine. And then we have that one guy straight up there. Oh, actually, hold on a sec. Oh, you're kidding me. Nils isn't within range? And I just didn't have him play. Oh, well. That'll happen. So, Bandit with the axe is not going to be able to do... I've just noticed that the bandits either have really weird hair or they're wearing hats. But I can't really imagine the bandits with hats. That would just be... it'd be a bit too silly for me. Alright, Florina is going to get 2 attacks off against this cavalier here, but if his buddy nearby decides to start running this way, HP, speed, and resistance, not bad, no strength, but that's pretty much expected. Yeah, the other cavalier is coming to fight Florina, so she's going to have to retreat into the mountains without another vulnerary. She's actually going to have to wait there for a little while. Now, I think with the assistance of Nils, Will should be able to finish off this cavalier this turn. The fact that he requires the assistance of Nils to take out this unit is really embarrassing, especially considering his level. But hopefully he gets some good stat growth in the future. He might turn into an MVP, who knows? But not with experience growth like that, he won't. Alright, so now we can just send Matthew out to this fight, and he doesn't attack twice if he's not using... Oh, wait a minute, he can stand in the woods. There we go. Much better. Now, even with an iron sword, the enemy only has an 11% chance to hit for 8 damage, mind, but even if he hit both times, he still wouldn't be able to kill Matthew. And I don't think the cavalier should be able to make it over... Actually, the cavalier is able to make it over here, but I don't think he should be able to fight Matthew, so that's not really a concern. Now, I actually am going to have Sane rescue Lyn here, just so I can get her a bit closer to the boss a bit faster. Because Lyn does need to seize the gate for the level to be over, which means if she's standing 3 or 4 screens across the map, obviously screens aren't that big yet, but, or the maps aren't that big yet that we would have 3 or 4 screens, but if she was across the map, she would have a bit of a time getting there, especially if it decided to rain. Because again, rain, worst mechanic that we've seen in a good long while. But no worries. So, Matt is more than able to take out that bandit, and even if he takes 9 damage here, which he didn't, he's able to take out that cavalier with his upgraded strength, because he'd only be doing 2 damage without it. Kind of the reason that he needed that energy. item. Ring? Ring. It's definitely a ring. Alright. So now, this Cavalier is going to come fight Matt, but this guy just is not close enough. Good. That's exactly what I want to see. Sane is going to nearly kill this snag here, but not before Lyn gets dropped there by Kent. Florina only has 6 HP, so she's really a bit too vulnerable to come and help out with this fight. Oh, and that knight is actually going to be recovering HP on that fort there. He's going to be easy experience for Lyn when she breaks down that drawbridge, though. And Matt's getting some good experience just from fighting this guy, which is good. I want Matt to become a good unit. But with hit percentages like this, nobody's going to be going anywhere soon. Alright, Lyn wouldn't do that much damage with the Iron Sword, but with the Lance Reaver, she has quite the advantage against this guy. Who knows, maybe I'll eat my words, Lance Reaver might not be the worst item I've ever seen. It's still not great, though. Alright, and he cannot attack Lyn, he's just not within range, so I'm going to move Florina a little bit close to the boss. It's a little bit risky, but she can just fly past at the end of the turn. And I don't think Cavaliers are spawning anymore, so she shouldn't have any trouble with that. Matt does take 9 damage, which is no good, but if he starts to get in trouble, I'll just have William, I think yeah, William? The General rescue him. Speed and defense, not terrible. Speed is pretty much expected on a thief, but defense is not always, so not bad. Going to try attacking once more. If he gets hit, then William's going to rescue him, somebody's going to... Actually, no, hold on a second. That'd be a dumb move, why not? Why do that when I can just have him move back to get healed and then back into the fight? So Sarah can heal Matt up this turn, and then Nils can just play him a song and he can run straight back out to fight. That way, even if he gets hit twice this turn, it won't matter. He's not going to be able to die. There. All freshened up and good to go. Lands 1 hit. Enemy also lands his hit, and then a miss. It's not terrible, it's not great. Now, Florina is going to fly straight past the boss here. I don't think that this knight is within attack range of her. Yep, still no good there, which is good for us. And I'm actually going to have Wallace, not William, start to move out. Actually, no, he's the only thing guarding that bridge, and consequently Nils from this Cavalier. So Matt just needs to hit one of these 2 attacks. Good, he finally finishes off the enemy. It's a little bit of experience, but now the path is a clear shot to the boss, and it's about to rain, naturally. So what I want to do is I want to position Wallace on the opposite side of the wall from the boss. Now, if you really want to get some scummy experience and a really high level cleric, the boss should be just powerful enough to deal 1 damage to Wallace. Okay, rain's only gonna last for 1 turn, that's not bad. And since he does 1 damage and you have a shop right here, and because your money's going to go away after this level anyway, you can have Wallace just take a hit from the boss, use a heal staff, and the turn, repeat that forever. And... or at least until you run out of money, that is. And that'll be perfectly fine. Wallace isn't going to be equipped with anything, so you'll be fine to just let him soak up the hits, he won't kill the boss. And that'll get your healer, in this case Sarah, plenty of experience, get her an easy level 20, which means when she pops back up in the main storyline, because I really don't consider this part of the main storyline, she'll be that much more powerful. But, again, that's a really scummy tactic, and it's not something you want to be using this early in the game. Eventually, I'm going to be using a tactic even, admittedly even scummier, just to make sure that my units are powerful enough to survive the end game, because not too much is bad towards the end of the game, except for the final couple of levels, and that's where things really start to kick up in difficulty. Magic up. Good. And weapon level with staves. It's always nice to see. So, the strategy versus this boss, if you leave anything within melee range of him, he's going to switch to his Silver Lance and he's going to attack. If you leave anything in range of him, he's going to switch to his Javelin and attack. So what you can do is you can actually have someone like Urk attack him while he has his Silver Lance up, immediately rescue Urk and just take him away to another place, and then just whittle down the boss that way. As the boss is on an HP recovery space, you can do this with any ranged units to get them, over time, to level 20. If you want. We're not going to be doing that here. It's boring. It takes a while. It's completely safe, though. The only thing you're limited by is your weapon durability. And obviously they have to be able to do damage to the boss, otherwise it'll only get them 1 experience each time, and that is just not worth it. Okay, so apparently it's going to rain soon. I don't really care about that though. What I'm going to have Urk do is attack twice using fire magic, then I'm going to rescue him with one of the Cavaliers, have the other Cavalier take him and drop him so he'll be immediately usable again next turn. It takes up 3 different units to do, but it allows you to move someone after their turn is over. And as you can see, Urk's just doing ridiculous damage to Lundgren. See, just rescue, wait there, take unit, drop unit, wait, and you're good. If you want, you can even use Nils to give Urk an extra turn before you rescue him, and then he'd be doing, if he hits every single one of his attacks, 32 damage to Lundgren in a turn, which is obviously ridiculous. Now, I do want Lyn to finish off this boss though, simply for sake of, I don't know, storyline. But if it looks like Lyn's going to die from the encounter, then I'm just going to leave it be. Now, if I rescue him here, the boss is going to be at, I think Lyn does 5 damage to the boss with her maniac, and the boss recovers 3 HP each turn. So if he has Wallace nearby him this turn, which I don't think I'll be able to do, yeah, it's going to have to be next turn, so he's going to heal to 9 HP next turn, 12 HP the turn after that, when I get Wallace in position to use the Javelin. So I could have Lyn try to fight him and then just rescue her out if things go badly, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing, because she will have a fairly high crit chance with the maniac. Maniac? I'm never sure how to pronounce that sword. But you don't need to worry too much about it. So Lyn's gotta be 1 space closer, which means next turn she can move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4. I guess forts take up 2 movement. Oh well. I'm gonna have Nils play a song for Urk, because why not? Nils needs EXP as much as the next guy. Excellent, he's almost up to level 6. That's not bad for this prologue. So Lundgren is up to 12 HP, he's gotta switch to his Javelin. He's gonna miss Wallace. That's the other thing. If he misses Wallace, Wallace is obviously not going to get hurt if you're doing the heal scumming tactic, so it's gonna take even longer. But if we have Lyn attack with the Lance Reaver, she has a 92% chance to do 2 damage twice. Oh, and a 25% chance to take 13 damage. I actually think I'm going to do this. I mean, the maniac is obviously, you have a 52% chance to deal 5 damage, with an 18% crit, oh man. But he also has a much higher hit percentage on her. If I use the Lance Reaver, it's a 1 out of 4. So the chances that I'm going to have to rescue Lyn out are going to be 1 out of 4, because the chances of her then dying are going to be 1 out of 4 on his turn. Because I don't think it's just 1/16th chance overall, it's 1 out of 4 2 separate times. Somehow that's different, I don't know why. But I am going to have her attack, which gets you a little bit of special dialogue. And because Lundgren does heal 3 HP a turn, he is going to be healing up unless we can get Lyn to hit him for 8 damage each turn. But here's the thing, you can't have Lyn stand there and tank the damage. It's just, you can't. Remember, he has a silver lance. So, naturally, you have to then take Lyn, drop Lyn, and she'll deal 1 damage per turn, which actually seems like a massive, massive waste of time. Unless I can use Nils to get her to attack again, so I'm gonna have to think about how to do this. But we'll have Wallace continue tanking for now. Oh no, he took a damage. 34 more hits like that, and he's just out for the count. Alright, so let's try this again. Alright, after she hits with both of these attacks, I'm going to clear out any units that don't need to be here. Florina, out. Urk, out. Will, out. Alright, so now I have plenty of room to play around with. Alright, I think... Oh no, I messed this up. So he could take and drop Lyn, but that wouldn't do anything this turn. Sarah can be nearby for healing, and then Nils can eventually play her a song. That's the only place Lyn can be dropped this turn, though. Alright, so I'm gonna actually get Matthew out of there this turn. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get this working so she can attack twice a turn. Honestly, a lot of Fire Emblem is like this. It's not deciding whether or not your units can die, it's finding out how you can get the correct people to not die to the more powerful units that they need to train. Oh, and it's going to rain soon, that's even better. Means for a turn my strategy is just going to be completely bunk. Alright, so he'll wait there, play a song for Lyn. I can actually have Wallace take Lyn from whoever rescues her, and drop her right next to Nils right here, or on the other side if she needs to be healed. That might actually work, so I'm gonna move Sane off of this fort for now. And Kent can still rescue Lyn if things go poorly here. But as you can see, 25% chance to hit for 13 damage. And the Javelin has how much less power than the Silverlands? It's something ludicrous. Strength up, there's what we needed. Thank you, Lyn. That'll make this a lot easier. She'll be dealing 5 damage each time now. Alright, so the Javelin has 6 damage less than the Silverlands, which means, or 8 damage less, which means once he equips it, he goes up to 26 attack, minus 1 because of disadvantage of Lance Reaver versus Lance. It's going to be 25, minus the 4 defense, which would mean he would still kill Lyn if he hit her. Okay, that's wonderful. Alright, so I'm gonna have him wait there. He can take Lyn and just drop her on the fort. And there we go. Next turn, if that happens, I can just have Nils play her a song, and she'll be able to move out. But she should be able to kill Lundgren this turn if she hits both of her attacks. Because she was doing... Oh no, wait, she was doing 2 damage before. So now she'll be doing 3, so she's not going to be able to kill him. Plus, she's not even going to be able to make it over to Lundgren this turn, so he's going to heal an extra 3 HP. Oh, jeez. I'm starting to think that Urk might just be the better option. Actually, hold on a sec. Urk might be the better option, come to think of it. First off, I'm gonna have Florina rescue Urk, and then one of the Cavaliers take him and drop him so he can move that little bit extra. I'm going to move Kent out of the way for this turn, so I can get Wallace to... Wait, Urk can actually survive the boss's Javelin, can't he? Never mind. I don't need to do any of that fancy stuff. I just need to let Lundgren heal for 1 more turn, at which point Urk should be able to do 16 damage to him with 2 attacks of 8. Once he does that, it's going to be just the matter of Lyn dueling him for 2 damage. And that's going to be a lot easier than the alternatives. But I do need him to stay there for 1 more turn, because if he doesn't, then the boss is just going to immediately die from Urk. So I'm actually letting him heal up so I can kill him more easily, if that makes sense. Goodness, this has already taken probably 5 minutes just to kill the boss alone. But hey, the last time I wasn't careful with this, Lyn died, so I'm not doing that again. No. I'm not playing through this level again. No, sir. Alright, so Wallace moves out. We move Urk into the danger zone. He could take 15 damage if Lundgren hit, like he just did, so we need to get Urk out of there. And that was the worst thing that could have happened. Cool. That's amazing. Okay, I think that even if my plan with Lyn fails this turn, I should still be able to do alright. So here's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm tired of waiting for this boss to die, I'm going to attack him twice with the Lance Reaver. And then I'm going to have Nils play her song, and she's going to attack again. She did just take 12 damage, which means... Oh, damn it, which means I can't do this, because there's a 23% chance that she's going to die immediately, as soon as I do this. Damn it. Unless I can somehow get her healed up and back in the fight. Would Kent be able to survive a javelin? 5 defense, 23 HP, 18 attack. Yeah, Kent could survive a javelin. Okay, so I'm gonna have Kent take Lyn, drop Lyn here. Oh, move away, because he doesn't need to be within javelin range. Heal Lyn. And then I'm going to send her into the Dragon's Den just to try to get a quick kill, because this has gone on quite long enough. If Lundgren lands both of his spears, Lyn dies. If Lyn lands both of her attacks with a 94% hit chance, Lundgren dies. So let's do it. Alright, solid start. I think that should... Yes! Lyn's storyline completed. Alright, and she's gonna get an instant level off of that, because killing an upgraded unit while you're not just about always nets you an upgrade. But a terrible level up. That's cool. Oh well. And now, no enemies left, so it goes straight to player phase again. She seizes the capital, and it's over! That's it! The end of Lyn's storyline. He was also the guy poisoning you, so I don't know how well I would take his word on that. Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, and dude, I've taken too much poison for several months now, so I think now I'm going to go ahead and die. Thanks for stopping by. It's been fun. And apparently the power of love can overcome poison. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I don't know. Any doctors? Anywhere? Come on. Do we have precedent? Has this happened? Anyone? Alright. Doesn't sound like it. Maybe there is. Who knows? I'm not pleased to have you, Will. You got terrible stat growth. Oh, and then we just leave. Apparently. Like, our character's like, alright, war's over, I'm out. I don't need payment, it's cool, this is what I do for a living. How do I manage to make a living on it? You got me. Alright, and that's the end of chapter 10. Oh, actually we get stats here. Alright, Kent, 24 battles, 10 wins. Kent is named Knight Commander of Caelin. It is a high honor for one so young, but no one denies his worth. Sane, 42 battles, 24 wins. Sane has earned the honor of being named Sub-Commander of the Caelin Knights. Despite his promotion, he still scoffs at authority and woos the village girls. He is much loved by the citizenry. Florina, 44 battles, 24 wins. Florina has arranged to stay in Caelin. She spends her every waking hour in rigorous training, hoping to become invaluable to Lyn. Her fear of men is lessened, but only slightly. Will, battles 43, wins 15, use 0. With his cheery outlook and his happy-go-lucky demeanor, Will has become quite dear to Marcus Caelin's household. Kent is teaching him manners befitting a sworn man of Castle Caelin. Dorcas, 3 battles, 1 win. Once Lyn's true heritage is recognized in Caelin, Dorcas returns to his home in Bern. There, he cares for his wife and makes a good living as a mercenary, fighting the local bandits. Sarah, battles 0, wins 0, healing plenty. Ultimately, Urk succeeds in seeing Sarah safely to Ostia. While her behavior is irritating at best, she is sorely missed. Her acerbic tongue has become legendary. Urk, the Wandering Mage, 45 battles, wins 28. His contract with Sarah complete, Urk sends off for Etruria. His time as a mercenary is just part of his training, and he is glad to see it end. He has since returned to his mentor. Wrath, battles 1, wins 1. In the celebration following Lyn's return to Caelin, Wrath slips out unseen. Whether he has returned to Sakai or has continued to work as a mercenary, no one knows. Matthew, the enigmatic thief, battles 26, wins 10. Matthew vanishes after the final battle, and his whereabouts remain a mystery. There you go. Nils, battles... Oh, just come on. Nils and his sister Ninian take their leave of Castle Caelin after a few days. He may very well be traveling the land, mastering his musical skills somewhere. Lucius, the traveling monk. Lucius studies in Caelin for a time, but he departs after receiving summons to another land. He has since been seen traveling with a hard-eyed mercenary. Wallace, battle 17, wins 0, damage also 0. For Wallace, Lyn's struggle only whets his appetite for battle. He sets off in search of a cause worthy of his blade. He seeks any sense of direction, so it may be years before he returns. Tibbet, the tactician. Tibbet leaves Lyn to continue his training. He plans on traveling through Lycia. Lyn refuses to say goodbye, believing in her heart that she would see him again, and under those circumstances, that the world would probably be in some sort of mortal peril, for which we would have to reunite with all of our old units. Lyn, battles 42, wins 24, losses that never happened. Lyn now lives with her grandfathers, Lady Lindis of Castle Caelin. Under her loving care, Lord Hausen recovers, and now the two of them go for many walks in the Caelin. Oh, isn't that just precious? I'm not going to read it at this speed, I'm going to wait till all of it pops up. On clear, dry nights, Lyn can be seen high atop a hill near the castle. Perhaps she is remembering the home of her youth, the plains of Sakai. Seriously, what is with that text speed? Here ends Lyn's story. Would you like to save your progress? Yes. Good. Now, our file turns blue. We are actually not going to continue playing yet, but next time I will see you all in Ellawood's story for the real start of the game. Until then, this has been PA.